Charlie. Roll Tide, roll, say it loud. He don't give a piss about nothing but the tide. Bama blood in his veins, got that crimson pride. F them trees, yeah, we said it out loud. And I love honeybees, now play it proud. We talking football, basketball, big time recruits. If they ballin' in the South, we lacing up the truth. Hood piano man plays better than three-stroke Charlie. Tougher than nails, smooth, not sorry. Roll Tide, roll, it's in the soul. From Tuscaloosa to the Super Bowl. Wood piano man plays better than three-stroke Charlie.
I sure do. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's me. It's the one and only. It's Mr. P, and that P stands for Piano Man. What's up, everybody? Roll Tide to you. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Good to see everybody here. And forgive me for being just a couple of minutes late. I think I'm doing pretty good on this cold Wednesday morning. But you know what, though? The cold spell is about to be over, and we are on our way to spring. Yeah, and that also lets us know that we are one day closer to A Day. That's right, April the 11th of said year, we will have A Day at Bryant-Denny Stadium with Saban Field, and I'm looking forward to A Day this year. I believe that we will. I think that we will have a scrimmage, a bona fide scrimmage. I think we will, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool this year. We're waiting on some more information concerning A Day that I want to really get to you, and so I hope and pray that a lot of us can. Let's put it this way: if it happens like it happened last year, I'm going to really promote us meeting in the zone. Now we have to pay to get in there now, and everything, but it's going to be well worth it. And you have some good seats, have some good food, pretty good food, but most of all, we have some really cool fellowship. And last year, some of us on the 401k crew, we got together and we had a good time up there. So on April the 11th, I think the game starts at 1:00, but they treat it like a game day, y'all. So you'll see the players get off the bus and this, that, and the third. You're going to have the permanent captain ceremony over at Denny Chimes. It's going to be real nice. So April the 11th is going to be a real festive moment, okay? So I hope everyone can, from Long Run Nation, can be there, and we just have a good time seeing each other, having fun, and all that kind of stuff. So let's get with the getting, okay? All right. Well, you know how I do it today is we want to know Wednesday, but before we want to know what we want to know, I want to know who's all in this chat, all right? Well, let me see. First person I see, Nicole Covington. Good morning, Nicole Covington. What the business is, Nicole? Girl, you know, quit playing girl and act like you know. Michelle Cochran, I ain't even got to play with you. I ain't even got to ask you. You know what the business is, Michelle Cochran. Good morning. Happy belated birthday to you, Michelle Cochran. I know you had a good time on your birthday and everything, making it happen. Happy birthday and Roll Tide to you. Tough as nails. Good morning and Roll Tide to you, my brother. Good to see you. Double A, what up with you, Double A? What the business is, Double A? Quit playing girl and act like you know. Walk like you know. Do your job like you know what the business is. Roll Tide to you. Stephen Hicks, the OG, the Voices of No Mercy, and the No Mercy crew in the house. Roll Tide, Stephen Hicks. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Well, y'all already know what the business fixing to be. Oh, yeah. It's the one. It's the only. It's Lady Latoya. What's up, Latoya? Good morning and Roll Tide to you. Yeah. What's going on, Latoya? And last but not least, we have the gumbo chef himself, Mr. Boomer Sooner, straight out of OK Corral. it is the Bishop. Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, my man?
Good morning. Oh, baby.
Yeah,
Good
Wednesday.
morning. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
it's my favorite day. I'm ready to hear some of this new gumbo.
Yeah. In the words of George Clinton, on the day is his hump day. George Clinton,
Yeah.
I'm humping, please. Yeah, that's what he used to
Yeah.
say back in the Gap, boy. That's what he used to say. Yes, sir, man. I'm an old school music buff. I like some of the new, Stephen. Nobody ever tells you what the business is. Cause you ought to know what the business is. You a dude, you know what the business
He feeling left out.
Because Steven know what the business is. The voices in his head tell him what the business is. You will never get that one out of me, Steve. But Steven, what's up, man? Somebody always telling you what the business is, Steven. Yeah, buddy. I hear you. Y'all, I have somebody I need y'all to meet. I've got somebody I need y'all to meet, okay? Bishop, I have someone I need you to meet.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Y'all just give me about 10 seconds. I'm going
Okay.
to get them. I got to go get them, bring them on camera. I don't know how camera shy they are. And but watch. Somebody wants you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing to the screen right about now the one, the only. This is my dude. I want y'all to say hello to Kobe.
Oh, what's going on?
Say hello to Kobe.
What I Toby?
That's what's up. This Kobe. Kobe, say hello to Long Run Nation.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Um,
He was abandoned. Picked him up yesterday.
oh,
Picked him up yesterday.
I got you.
And you know, it's a long story behind that. And he just looked lost and everything. And it was cold out there, right? So brought him home, and he's been here with me. It'd be 24 hours here. So for now, this is Kobe, and I just went on and named him Kobe, and in honor of the late Kobe Bryant. I'm a Lakers fan, but I love Kobe Bryant, and so y'all say this is Kobe. I'm going to put him back in the little box now. This is Kobe, y'all. This my new guy, and so this my dude him, and so I'm not only just a musician, minister, human, podcaster, sports, and whatever, but I'm also a dog lover, fish lover, dog whisperer. Yeah, so this is my guy. So Kobe, meet everybody, and y'all be seeing Kobe from time to time. All right, I'm gonna put him back in his box. Bishop, take it from here for a minute, man.
All right, all right, all right. Hey, how we got this moment? Y'all know, run the likes up so we know we'll surprise them. And welcome to the family, Kobe. Big salute, big salute. So I don't know about y'all, but this day here is I look forward to this day because this is you guys' day. It's your guys' day. And so how he's doing that, I want to ask, and listen to me. I know I work for the government, but hey, you guys ever feel like sometimes that they don't communicate at times? And that oftentimes people, if they would communicate, they would realize they would not have to do certain things. Hint, hint. Well, Sometimes life can be like that. Sometimes life can be like that. And back to the show, Mr. Piano Man himself.
Cheers to you.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
just,
but had to put Kobe back up there
yeah,
for a minute and everything. And Bishop, I was hear you right quick before we get into we want to know
yeah,
Wednesday. But you know, Bishop, if we took the time out to communicate,
yeah.
we would actually find out how much more we have in common
Yep,
than than as opposed to how far apart we are.
yeah.
We actually have more in common than we think. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that some of us are so busy looking for the negative as opposed to the positives and the things that you know we're so busy looking for the differences as opposed to things that we share in common.
Yeah.
And man, it's crazy that how it's just crazy how we've become. And Bishop, the sad scenario that I'm seeing, big dog, here, man, some of this stuff is getting progressively worse as opposed to getting better. Some things are just getting progressively worse. And like Double A said a few weeks back, even down to the even down to the watching and the commenting and like what you said yesterday, that I think you used the word we're having a conversation, even the conversations surrounding not just college football, but just sports in general. I'm just leaving it right there. Sports in general is dangerous. It has gotten dangerous because we don't want to respect another person's opinion. We don't want to respect what their take on it is just because it's not like ours and everything. We get mad. We take things all personal and all that good stuff, man. And, and that's why I try to do my best to over here at the long run. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being controversial, but be respectfully controversial. There's nothing wrong with being controversial at all, but be respectful about it. And I think that once we learn that respect level and
Mhm.
meet that level of respect of each
Yeah.
other, Bishop, I think we will be fine. But until then, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have
But
them.
well, just for my, you guys are my family now. Family, just think about it. Most times in most families, the misunderstanding is so minute, but we are stuck in our ways. And if we're not open to have a dialogue to where we hear each other out instead of trying to get ready to do the baker's dozen and try to do one up, then most of the time we miss each other because we're not willing to hear the person out because they might have gave you the clue that you've been looking in, that they're on the same wavelength. Is just they think the way they interpret it is their interpretation, and nobody thinks alike, and we don't want that. We're all unique and uniquely made. And so just think about it, is why you think I pick a gumbo? Because each ingredient by itself stands firm, but when you make a gumbo, they all have to come together and they slowly put together and slowly cooked. That means they have to commingle.
That's it. And it's amazing, Bishop. And when you use that gumbo analogy, it's amazing how some lump crab meat and some shrimp and some crawfish and some water and some
All right, bro.
okra and some
I'm over here. I'm dripping a little bit.
yeah, you know,
I'm hungry.
yeah, have some okra and some corn and some shrimp and then you got your blue crabs and all that kind of stuff and you mix all of that and you got some you take it and make your roux and everything. You got to make sure
Yeah,
that it doesn't burn you. You got to keep stirring and stirring and
correct,
stirring.
correct.
Then you have your little crab boil, shrimp boil, crawfish boil, and you put all that up in there and then you put it on the stove and you got to heat it up and how all of that when it is done correctly. That's what Bishop says all the time, every day, talking about the gumbo. Don't bring no bad gumbo to the party.
And
And bad and
purge your seafood. Don't leave the trash in the seafood.
oh and don't bring no trashy gumbo to the seafood boil.
Oh
Don't
man.
do that. Don't do that. Hey, and don't forget when you doing crawfish, don't forget to purge your crawfish. You don't just put the crawfish in there and let them go. You know, you got to purge them. You got to put some salt in, Now you talking about throwing salt in your game. That's one game you better put some salt on it, man. Put some salt in your game and that. Purge them crawfish. Purge them out. You got to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clean the ingredients. That's what we mean. And that's what makes good, authentic gumbo. That's what makes it,
Yeah.
Bishop. So, but it's amazing how all of that can come together because all of that separately is just a bland taste. It's bland. But when you throw all that stuff in there together and you got that roux going, because the roux is your foundation. And when you got the roux going,
It's a beautiful thing.
it's
And
beautiful.
and with
Thing,
that
man.
saying, we got the beautiful people of the chat. It's their day, it's their moment, and it's their hour.
Mhm. So, Bishop,
All right.
let's get with the getting.
Yep.
The roux has started. The pot is on the stove. The stove is heating up the water, and we slowly adding the ingredients to everything. It is now official at 8:18 this morning. It is now the official We Want to Know hour. Now, what we want to do today, Bishop, is I just put in the chat, we want to hear your personal I want to know. And if we have time to get to it, we're going to get to it. Bishop and I, we always keep our I want to know because we do an I want to know segment. If y'all ain't quite caught on yet, we do an I want to know segment every day. So we want to know something. We always want to know something. We do one every day. Bishop, Twister, Coach Carl, JB, Governor, all Piano Man. We always wanting to know something. We want to know something every day. But today is We Want to Know Wednesday. And chat, we want to hear from you. Like Bishop said, today is your day. We want to know. We the people want to know. All right. So, Bishop, the first one, you know who it came from. You already know, Bishop. Here we go. It's Stephen Hicks.
Stephen Hicks.
Stephen Hicks and the Voices of No Mercy said, I want to know what DeBoer is doing to make our O-line get back to domination. That's what Stephen Hicks wants to know.
Hey, Stephen. Ooh, that is the toughest roux ever. You got the best roux to start it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. So, Stephen, and before we go further, the governor is here.
Yes.
The governor is here. The governor of Discord is here. It's the one. It's the only. It's JB. What's up, JB?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Cause I got two up there. That's why. Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Governor.
Oh, I woke up this morning. I was listening to y'all. You know the different term of gumbo is called concoction.
Yeah.
Concoction. Anything can go in that pot.
Come
You
on.
can add all the seasons you want, but if you're not making if you're not making this meal with love, it's not gonna taste good, bro.
You got to throw a lot of love in it, man.
Boy,
You have to throw
spit your
love
fire.
into it. So it's like all the information that on all the conversations that we have, that we spew out, it's all from a good place in our heart. There's nothing to be defiant for or just a disagreement. It's just our opinion.
Yeah.
And I've noticed people aren't willing. If you're not willing to fail, then you're not willing to succeed.
Yep.
It's
Ooh,
just
that's
that
that's a
simple.
strong one there, man.
If you're not willing
Hmm.
to fail, you're not willing to succeed.
That's a
So you
strong
can't
one.
say that you can't say that you're successful if you keep doing the same thing every single day. You know how are you getting better? You're just comfortable now. That's called comfortability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people really got to get out of their minds about, well, I'm right and you're wrong. Okay, well, you're right now, but when you are wrong, are you gonna have that same energy? You know,
Mm.
people don't
Exactly.
forget. People don't forget stuff. We hold grudges. We're just human beings. That's what we do. But I ain't gonna go on a rant on all the
Yeah.
sentimental stuff.
Yep. Yep.
I'll touch on Steven's comment. I don't think he really knows yet. And honestly, I don't think that question is for DeBoer.
Ooh.
If you hear where I'm going, I don't think that question is for DeBoer. That
Uh-huh.
question
Ooh.
should be that question should be straight to Ryan Grubb, not Kalen DeBoer.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. All right.
You know what
All
I'm
right. I
saying?
see you throwing the chip. Hey, I see you throwing a jalapeno in there.
Oh, I chopped it up too, diced
You
it.
chopped it
Yeah,
up
you
too,
did.
bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
That
sir.
question, we like to say killing the board, killing the board, killing the board. I've said this plenty of times, P. You can quote me on
Hmm.
what time I said it. I said, who offense is running this?
He said it from day one,
Who?
folks.
I
He
said it
said it
from
from
day
day
one.
one, folks.
Who is going to be running this office? Kalen DeBoer
Hmm.
or Ryan Grubb? If Kalen DeBoer is giving the keys to Ryan Grubb, then you shouldn't be questioning Kalen DeBoer. You need to be questioning Ryan Grubb.
Hmm.
That's just my opinion. Y'all can talk
Well,
about it.
well, wait a minute, Governor. So now, so to add to Stephen's question, maybe we need to put a 1B in there and say, well, we want to know what is Kalen DeBoer. I mean, excuse me, what is Ryan Grubb doing
Right.
to
Because
not just make the O line better, but what is Ryan Grubb doing to make the whole offense effective?
But we have to
well, see,
understand
go ahead.
who's running this offense. Is it Kalen
So
DeBoer
what? Then they're going.
or is it
Well,
Ryan Grubb?
well, you know what? Well, Governor, allow me to do this since you because you brought this up. So allow me to do this. Let's make this let's make Stephen's question a three-part question, but let's throw in what you've been saying, what you have been asking from day one. Now, folks, let me qualify this because Governor has said that I can quote him and I can take it back to when he is quoted. This is the year 2026. I can go back to the very moment, the very day that Governor asked this question about exactly whose offense is it? Is it Kalen DeBoer's offense or is it Ryan Grubb's offense? Who's running the offense? Whose scheme is this? So the first question is whose scheme is it? Second question would be what is Ryan Grubb doing? And then the third question would be whatever we're going to. But I'm just vouching for what Governor has said. So won't nobody go away thinking, oh no, this is something he may be making up on the fly. No, it's not. This has been an ongoing question from our governor for the last 2 years. He has asked this question, and I ain't sunshine pumping, I'm just telling the truth, Bishop. Governor has asked this question at least 100 times.
Okay.
I'm
And
being
then
honest.
our Stephen Hicks
Because I just
gave
don't
the
want to see a situation.
foundation.
Only reason why I
So
bring
it's
that up
perfect.
is because I don't want a situation to like to be. We all know it's Nick Saban's defense, right?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
We had all them superstars as coaches on that staff. On the defensive side, Jeremy Pruitt's, the Kirby Smarts, the list goes on. When the defense act up, they didn't call the other people's names. They said this is Nick Saban's defense.
Exactly.
That's you know what I'm saying. They always said this is Nick Saban's defense, down
Mhm.
to the players. This is Nick Saban's defense. So who? I just need to know whose offense is this, so then we can start directing our questions properly. Because don't tell me it's Kalen DeBoer's offense, but all the blame is Ryan Grubb.
Mm.
Well, can I add my little bit?
You know what I'm saying? We need to figure out who's running the offense.
Correct.
Is it Ryan Grubb and or just
Well, go ahead, Bishop. Go ahead, Bishop.
Uh, you know what? I was pondering and talking with a good friend of ours yesterday, and to go along with this, Seattle Seahawks just won the Super Bowl.
Uh-oh. See.
Who did they just let go before the season that came to Alabama as the OC?
Governor.
And is it possible? Is it possible that because there's such good friends that what Governor just brought up holds true, and it's really is Ryan Grubb's system because this is not their first rodeo together.
Governor, the floor is yours, sir. Uh-oh. Did we lose Governor?
We probably, yeah, we did.
Okay.
But so I'll finish off where I was going with that. What I was saying is then ask yourself, just to put it on two planes, if a entity that had him as an OC, once he was fired, was able to go through a season and win a Super Bowl, and now he's a part of your OC, part of your offense, heading up your offense. Ultimately, it does fall on the board, but the board gave him carte blanche. When you give somebody carte blanche, then it has to, he's entrusting them because he has worked with them before, that he's able to handle everything that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So reality is, it is actually Ryan's offense, which the board has signed off. And since he's the CEO, maybe he needs to bring in the reins. Maybe that's an excellent question for our brother to bring up is, no matter who is, do
Mm-hmm.
they have the right scheme and the right know-how after what we just went through to make the necessary adjustment so we don't repeat history?
Hmm. So Stephen's question actually turns, like I said, into a 3 or 4. Like you got your overall question,
Right.
and then
Correct.
you got 3 or 4 different addendums that will go with that particular question. So Stephen's question, when he said, "I want to know what is the board doing," and now I'm going to say this in defense of Stephen as well. I
Mhm.
also understand which way Stephen is coming from, because in the overall grand scheme of things, that's
Absolutely.
going to fall on DeBoer. It's going to fall on
Absolutely.
DeBoer. It will not matter whose concept the offense is. You're going to always, there's an old adage, Bishop,
Mhm.
that says when you're on a train, you got all these different working parts. But when
Right.
that bad boy jumped the track, they're going to only look at one person,
Come on.
and that's the conductor.
And now I'm glad Stephen Hicks hit this one, because now this is where the trust has to be built. And now this is where we no longer, according to the board, we like yesterday, if we was in his shoes, even though we're friends, I now need to keep you accountable. So if that's the case, then after we did an honest assessment and evaluation of our past season, we now know what adjustments. Now I gotta hold you to that standard of making those adjustments.
Right.
Because undoubtedly, if anything reoccurs from this same season, reoccurs in the new season, then once again, who are they going to go to? Are they going to go to Ryan Grubb, or are Kellen DeBoer, the CEO and the architect of this university for this football team? And if you think of it like that, then you start realizing that this is an excellent question, but I believe what happens is you start to see that if they do not communicate, which we were talking about earlier, and make sure they uphold a standard and an accountability, and make sure that their scheme is commendable to being able to go into the playoffs and to win a natty, then what are we doing this for? And why aren't we paying attention to the details?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think that I think that like the main question will be and like I said, from Stephen's standpoint right there, from Stephen's standpoint, when about the O-line, okay, what is the board doing? I understand that from a totality, from the total scope. But when you begin to break that scope up, Bishop, if Ryan Grubb is given the keys to this thing, then the question has to be, what is Ryan Grubb going to do? What is he doing to make the offense more effective? Now, with what you asked now, I've got to say this.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at the Senior Bowl,
mm-hmm.
I did talk with, I can go on and tell it now because everything's over. I did talk with someone from Seattle, Stephen. I did. Met someone. I met him. Didn't get a chance to really film him or anything like it. It was cold out there. I was trying to seek shelter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Being a brother in some cold weather don't always go good, and that water coming off that gulf like it was, bro. So
it was.
But anyway, this is what he said. This is what he said to me. He said, the reason Ryan Grubb was really let go was because of his predictability. Everything became predictable to whoever Seattle was playing. Everything became predictable, and there was no bending with him. There was no working out with him. You see what I'm saying, Bishop?
Yep.
Now this came from somebody who was like within the organization.
Mm-hmm.
The predictability of it, not so much the failure just to run the football or whatever. It was deeper than that.
Right.
It was all about being predictable. Well, let's fast forward to that 38-3 beating we took at the Rose Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the one play that we all can witness and testify to the fact that what this guy said about predictability was true? That 4th and 1,
mm-hmm.
and you trying to snap the ball and you're going to run a reverse. Everybody saw it coming. Everybody on Indiana's team knew that Jern Bernard was about to get the ball. I go back to that play. I go back to that one play, not because of the play, Bishop, but because of the aftermath of the play.
Correct.
of what happened after the play.
Correct.
The mocking that Indiana did, the laughing at Alabama that they did. Oh, it was at that play, Bishop, that Indiana turned the heat up defensively. And it put everybody on offense in a pickle, if you will, because now there was nothing Alabama could do offensively to get on track. Nothing they could do. Now let's just go on and put it out there. There was nothing that they could do. I don't care what they were going to try to run. After that trick play, yes, Stephen, kill the trick plays. After that trick, that supposed trick play, which was not a trick at all, it ended up being a treat for Indiana. After that play, Bishop, after that play, sir, it was all lights out for Bama. There was nothing Bama could do. So with that being said, it made what the guy from Seattle say to me be true. Even though he said it after, all of the football has been played and everything, Bishop, it was true. The predictability. And this is what happened with Bama. Let's just call a spade right here. This is what happened with Bama throughout the course of the year, them being predictable. So in Stephen Hicks' question, adding another addendum to the question, when he's saying, I want to know what DeBoer is doing to make the O-line get back to domination. Honest to goodness, that's going to fall on Ryan Grubb from an offensive standpoint, far as play calling, schemes, this, that, and the third. But the domination part is going to come from Coach Clem, the actual O-line coach himself. See, it goes back to like what you said and what Coach Carl said. Everybody, Bishop, has their role to play in this whole scheme.
Correct.
Everybody has a role to play.
Yep.
So the question is, Stephen, your question is not wrong. But I think, like what Governor said, whose offense is who's going to take credit or who's going to take accountability or responsibility for the offense. Number two, what would Ryan Grubb do to make the offense more effective? Number three, what will Coach Clem do instead of it being DeBoer to make the O-line go back to domination? What is Clem going to do to make the O-line dominant again? Because here's the factor that you've got to throw in, Bishop, and I'm gonna let you speak on this. I want you to speak on this part right here. You've got all new starters. So let's just deal with the O-line. We're going to get to everybody else that I want to know in just a second. But here we go. You got all new starters, Bishop. All new starters. From tackle to tackle. All new starters and a tight end, Bishop.
Right.
Now, the question would be, what does Clem do to make this O-line dominant? Go ahead, Bishop.
And see, once again, is the entire offensive staff working as one. For one thing, don't put the narrative that we were too aggressive. Because we know good and well, in order to run the ball, you have to be aggressive. Now, if you misquoted or that wasn't the true meaning, maybe you say we weren't physical enough in that scheme. Okay, it's some validity, but physicality is what the SEC is over any other league in the NCAA. Physicality in our offense and defensive line play is second to none. And so you're telling me then you want to play a finesse against other teams that physicality was raised because a standard was set by Bama before, and now that is the new standard. And now all of a sudden you want to go to finesse in the SEC. It doesn't compute, nor does it drive the answer home to being able to go win a natty.
Right.
Now, I will say this: each player has to take accountability of being an ambassador for that team in that position. If you are allotted and prerequisite to be a starter, or I like to say 22 starter, then you need to know when you step into that role, you need to know what any and everybody on that line or on that offensive side of the ball does in every play. So that way, you know, if I got an even front or odd front, I know how I am to block the specific play if we got a 36 crossbuck. You know, because there's different blocking techniques versus even and odd fronts. Odd fronts is like a 3-4, even is a 4-3. Just to give premise and foundation.
Right.
Now, understand, in the SEC, most of the fronts, even though they might start off in 3-3 or 3-4, end up being a 4 even front because they normally walk somebody up on one of the sides. And so it really is a 3 front, but you block it as if it's a 4 front because they're so stout and heavy in those 3 and 1 techniques on the line of scrimmage that they demand that you make sure that when I say 1 tech, that's the nose guard. Make sure that nose guard doesn't get a big push, because otherwise you need to double him, and then you can't go to the second level until you stop and make sure your center has that block. Then you scrape to the second level. But it happens so quickly. And if you add in the games on the defensive side of TNTs, loops, and whatnot, all of a sudden you can see how that preparation of film study has to be impeccable. You cannot lag behind. You have to be on top of your game. And you, as an offensive line, you have to be one.
Right.
You got to know, okay, because I'm an old coach, you got to know when it's a me call. Me call meaning I just need you to make sure if he tries to slide off, you throw your hand to stop him so I can gain control, and you go to the second level. Versus, hey, look, we're in a blocking scheme that's coming straight at us. There's no reason. Whoever shows in your area, you blow them off the ball.
Yeah.
And see, these are intricacies that coaches, when they do their coach talk, really don't get into. But us that have been around the game, I want to share with you, this is why you have to be physical at the point in time. Now, this new offensive line coach, if I'm understanding, he's all about putting the physical back in the game because he loves running the ball.
Yeah. And see, and that's the point that I'm making right there, too, Bishop, is that it's going to be on Clem now, because here's going to be my question. I'm still keeping Stephen's statement up there now. Will there be pushback? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Will there be pushback? Because not only do you have to throw Clem in this mix, but you're also going to have to throw Derek Nix, the wide receivers coach, into the mix. Now, why is that important? And this is something Coach Carl and I were talking about the other day. People forget that by nature or by trade, if you will, Derek Nix is a former running back. He's not a wideout. He's a running back who just so happens to be the wideout coach. See, so if and think about this. Oh, because this just popped in my brain. Thank you, Coach Carr, for reminding me. Go back and look at Auburn from last year. I think you're about to see which way I'm going with this, Bishop.
Yeah, I do.
Auburn ran the football. They didn't just pass it. Yeah, they had Cam Coleman. They sure did. But Auburn had some RBs back there that could tote that mail. And Bishop, may I also remind everyone, and you can attest to this. Kind of say this kind of low, but it wasn't like Auburn had the best O-line in the world either. But they ran the football. I think y'all get what I'm saying. I think you get it. Everybody knew, Bishop, that the Auburn Tigers were not all that on an O-line. But if anybody remembers correctly, Auburn, you know it as well as I know it, Bishop, Auburn gave Oklahoma all they could handle. And Oklahoma had this stout defense.
Yeah.
And Auburn still ran the football. Ex Georgia. Everybody, anybody who was watching football that night, everybody that was watching football knew Auburn was running rings around Georgia. Let's just go ahead. I'm going to say it. And I don't like Auburn at all. But Georgia stole that game from them guys. The refs gave that game to Georgia. Gave it to them. Gave it to them. I'm just saying. Gave them the game. They gave that game to Georgia.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm making, Auburn ran the football. So what am I saying? You got the wideout coach from the former wideout coach from Auburn at Bama now. I just believe between him and Clem, they're going to demand that the O-line be developed, and they're going to demand that those running backs are developed, and that some running of the football consistently. And I'm going to go on record and say this. Today is the 2/25 of the year 2026. And don't just depend on Xavier Crowell to get you through, because that's unfair for a freshman. But now, if you have to do it, then so be it. But you're going to have to establish the run somewhere. And that means, Bishop, good morning, Twister, roll tide to you. That means, Bishop,
roll tide, gentlemen.
That means, Twister, that means, Chat, that somewhere along the line, the responsibility of running the football, now I'm going to have to do an early X Factors thing. The X Factor, the number one X Factor, well, yeah, I'm going to say number one answer today. The number one X Factor, Bishop, Twister, is going to have to be the development of the O-line. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be, because from an offensive point of view, from an offensive standpoint,
right?
I said it all last time that there were 3 X factors, and that last year the number one X factor was going to be injuries. This year, I believe that the number one X factor on the offensive side of the ball is going to be the O-line with a 1B in there, Bishop and Twister, depth. The depth of the O-line. How deep will the O-line be? How deep will they be? Because you're still going to have to factor injuries and this, that, and the third. And this rotating stuff has got to stop. So since we're talking about O-line, let's address it all while we're there. Let's address all that we can. And we're going to get to some more I want to knows. But
Yeah.
since Stephen Hicks brought this up, he started this now. If you're going to talk about the O-line, you got to talk about everything that goes along with it, because that was horrible. That was horrible. And you can't have that. Now I'm going to go on to say this, and some folks ain't going to like this, but I don't care. You had a decline in the line play before Saban left. Each year after 2020, the domination of the O-line has dwindled. And last year, that's what we came down to. I'm just being honest with you. Oh, it was enough blame to go around for a whole lot of folks. But since we're talking O-line, Bishop and Twister, that's what we've got to deal with. Go ahead, Twister.
Okay, my opinion. I taught this before. The O-line was getting pushed back. All season. And I'm gonna elaborate what you said about Auburn's O-line. Their O-line was crap too, but they had a running game. Remember, they went head to head with Georgia and could have won the game. Like, they ran the ball. Like, the offensive line, they just wasn't disciplined. They always got penalized in that Georgia game. But they ran the ball effectively against Georgia, down to their teeth. They had a O-line problem, but they still ran the ball. We had an O-line problem and a running game problem. So, like you said, if those two coaches, Coach Glenn and Derek Nix, can get that together, we'll be okay. We got pushed around. We got bullied last year. We got humbled last year. We need to be aggressive. Bishop, remember what we said the other day? Them guys got to be the meat and potatoes. They got to oppose their will on the defensive lineman. That is the most important position on the field. They don't get that much credit. Everybody looking at the running backs, the quarterbacks, the wide receivers. But people need to realize, really, in my opinion, the heart and the soul of that team are the O-line, because they are pushing nearly 300-pound linemen, D-linemen, and linebackers around to open up the holes for these running backs to run through and protect the quarterback and make sure the wide receivers get open so they can catch the ball. We need to enforce our will. The O-line got to be aggressive. That's how Alabama won those championships of the O-line. They got to enforce their will. I'm talking about penetrate, like push them. Like, cause they was piling on the D-line in the past. And that's what we were known for, to put fear of God on the offensive, on the defensive opponents that we faced against. Last year was the complete opposite. Every team we faced, the defensive line just pushed those boys back and had goddamn Ty Simpson dancing like Michael Jackson back there. I'm sorry, just being honest with you. And like I was saying before, about how Auburn had a bad O-line, they had a running game. We had neither. So what me and Bishop was talking about, Alabama and Oklahoma have a mirror image with the O-line. Great defense, but the O-line was hot garbage. That's what me and Bishop had wholeheartedly 100% agree upon. Defense carried us through that season. That's my opinion, you guys.
Hey, Twisted, hold up. Then you're saying that you can't finesse that. You got to be physical at the point of attack?
Yes, you have to. And I forgot to say this too. And the O-line and the whole team got to be mentally ready, not just physical too. You got to be mentally. You got to have mentally be ready and prepared.
Game.
Mentally.
It.
Got to. You got to. O-line got to tighten up. When we get back to that dominating offensive line that been dominated and put fear on other teams. Can they get back to that? That's all I need to know on that. That's just my opinion.
Okay. One thing about it, and Bishop and Twister, and I'm hearing you, and I totally agree. I got to add something else to that.
Go
We
ahead.
talked about finesse, and they say finesse doesn't work. I disagree. Finesse does work. Finesse, but because either way it go, you got to understand, and I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but you also have to understand, what does the word finesse mean? What does it really mean? I think what some people are getting mixed up is cute versus finesse. Even in your physicality, there's some finesse that goes with it. There's some finesse that goes with it, because finesse just actually means in subtle ways.
Facts.
Now, what happens with, okay, let's go back to that infamous play we're talking about. It wasn't nothing finesse about that. Nothing. It was trying to be, but there's nothing finesse about predictability. You're lining up Jerm Bernard where you had him. Stevie Wonder,
that play.
Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Jose Feliciano, Helen Keller, and any other blind person, and no disrespect to the blind, but they could sniff that out with the senses that they kicked in, that something just wasn't right. What I'm getting at is there is a level of finesse that you have to have, but you just can't abandon the physicality that goes with it. The Big Ten has always been known for power football, but the SEC, that power was on a different level. It was a different level of physicality. It was a different level of domination. Y'all say meat and potatoes. I'm going to use my daddy's terminology. Cornbread and collard greens, different situation. Cornbread and collard greens, turnip green, mustard green, cornbread. When you hear a female say they want one of them corn-fed brothers, they ain't say nothing about just meat and potatoes. They looking at foundation. And that's what you and Bishop are saying, Twister, is the physicality is the foundation of that O-line. If the O-line is not physical, you don't have no foundation, and all you have is finesse. That's the equivalent of a child or a person that all they eat is birthday cake. No veggies, no meat, no salad, no balance. You just sweet. That's all you are. You full of sugar. You hyped up, but when you crash, you're gonna crash and burn. That's what's gonna happen. But there's no substance there. There's nothing holding you. So all I'm getting at is there's nothing wrong with being finesse, but don't be finesse alone and no physical. Because I'm going back to Auburn again, Twister, and you said it. Auburn gave Georgia the blues on that O-line. Ooh, I'm going to say it because it's all season, but I would have said it last year. I kept telling y'all, everybody, I kept telling y'all, Georgia wasn't all that. I kept telling y'all, Georgia was not going to win a natty. Georgia natty winning days are almost done for a while. I'm telling you now. I said
Auburn could have won that game against Georgia. Auburn could have won that game.
They should have won it.
It was stolen from them. I'm just being honest. It was stolen from them.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody else said it besides me. that game was stolen from them. It really was. Now, I know we don't like Auburn, and they're my number one nemesis, not LSU. Auburn's mine. I don't like nothing about Auburn.
You gotta be honest. You want to be analytic? We analysts right here. I'm just being honest as an analyst. It was stolen from Auburn. That touchdown, I agree. That was a touchdown. They called back. That was a touchdown. The dude reached that was a touchdown.
So I want to know. This is the part I want to know. Y'all, I got to stop and do this. Here we go. Somebody's in the house. Oh, my God. Y'all know who here. Linda P is in the house. What's up, Linda P? What the business is, you know. Act like you know and quit playing, girl. Come on, Linda P, and roll tide to you. Salute. Y'all, salute to the GOAT.
Salute.
Twister, you better come stronger than that, bro.
No.
I'm on the road. I'm on the road.
Linda P, I'm trying now. I'm trying to help him, bro. I'm trying to help him now. But I'm just saying, back to regular schedule programming. Twister, Bishop.
That part.
So I'm just saying that Bama, there's nothing wrong with being finesse, but don't take the doggone physicality out. Don't do it, because you getting up there, like what I said, Bishop. You remember, you heard me say, what we getting ready to do? Do the ballroom waltz, and a one, and a two. All that's missing is Lawrence Welk and his orchestra. And we out there just a dancing. What kind of welfare, witchcraft, hocus pocus, hold on is this we got going? I'm just saying, what kind of foolishness is this? I want to know with Stephen Hicks here. We've been on this question for a few minutes. Thank you, Stephen, because it brings great content.
Yeah, we're going to bring this up next week.
We're going to bring this one up again next week. Stephen, keep this question. Stephen Hicks, write this question down, put it in your Rolodex, and present it again next week. And we're probably going to have 20 parts on this one question. I'm being honest with you, because I never seen so much ballroom dancing in all my life. And then we had the nerve, Bishop and Twister. We switching partners. What is this, a swinging club?
I don't want to resurrect your anger, Piano Man. Jay Roberts was too aggressive. It still bothers me. How in the hell you be too aggressive? That was the strongest man on the team. How you be too aggressive? But back to what you're saying, finesse. I ain't saying like get cute. You can be physical and nimble. That's why I think finesse means physical, nimble, athletic. Not just big and strong.
Yeah.
You got to be nimble with it.
Right there. Twister.
Yeah.
What happened to that part?
I don't know. Like I said, we got humble. It ain't just the teams like Georgia and these Indiana and LSU and all the other guys. It was the quotation mark cupcakes. They all was opposing their will on us. Even the so-called cupcakes, Northern Illinois, even West Kentucky, Wisconsin was pushing back the O-line. It was just terrible. Bishop, you seen the game?
Yep.
It was terrible. Piano Man, It was terrible. Man, like everybody we faced, every team we faced, that was opposing their will on the O-line. And Ty Simpson was skate James Brown, Michael Jackson dancing, trying to get around, avoiding sacks, and trying to go for screen passes when, all of that.
And Twisted didn't hear the first part of this still, and he just said the same thing that Piano Man and the governor said.
Hey, I'm calling like I see it, man. And it was just like the best teams in the countries and stuff. It was regular average teams. Man, we sucked so bad last year. Southern Miss can penetrate, no offense intended, with a force our will on our offensive line. It was that bad. I'm just saying. And still trying to do these stupid gadget plays. That Wildcat and all that, it's not going to work every time we try to get out of a jam. You should have got Jay Roberts leading the way.
Wait a minute, Twister. Wait a minute. Before we go from,
Why'd you do that, Twist?
Wait a minute. Good morning. Wait a minute. Good morning. Wait a minute. Hold it. I gotta give her props too. Here we go. I gotta do this. Yeah.
I'm fire. I feel it in the air. Telephone wires above, or sizzling like a snare. Honey, I'm fire. I feel it in the air. Telephone wires above, or sizzling like a snare.
Yes, Susan. It's Miss Susan in the house. I gotta get
man, really.
What's up, Susan? Roll tide to you, Susan. I see Corey's here. Corey, you got a few more days, bro. Shout out to you, bro. I see Tough as Nails is here. All that kind of stuff. I see the folks up in the house this morning on Wednesday. What you say?
Y'all try to start it up again.
Let me put on mute. Let me get on mute to hear this.
You said humbled. I say humbled. You say gadget. I say disaster. You said you were just darn nice about it. How in the world? The O-line. We're just dealing with the O-line, folks. We're just dealing with the O-line. How in the world did you expect Ty Simpson to pull off something when every time he looked up, he saw one of two things? He either saw his O-line in his face or their D-line in his face. And sometimes, Bishop, he saw both of them at the same time.
And another thing I want to say, that Vanderbilt game, when that defensive end sacked Ty Simpson with Wilkin Formby on his back, that was embarrassing to see.
You know what? I thought you were going to say
number 99. I remember it like it was yesterday. I seen it. Wilkin Formby was trying to block that big man. He sacked Ty Simpson with that man on his back.
One of these days.
That was man. It was terrible.
Time out.
Right. I almost hit a game with a safety. It was embarrassment. It was just terrible. I just had to say that.
I know you did. Look, hold on. Y'all. Hey, family, we ain't trying to.
We ain't trying to what?
Look,
I ain't trying. I am.
I know.
I'm just calling it like I seen it. It was embarrassing.
Calling it like you see it. But hey, this is there. We need to get to a couple more questions. We will come back to it.
Jeff, you did. But then, Jeff, you know what? See, something when you in the know and everything, and you have to kind of just keep your mouth closed. Jeff, I'm gonna say it in the words of a hymn in the church. What you just said, what we just highlighted right there. There's an old hymn in the church that says, "You will understand it better by and by."
Ooh, I knew you were going there. I knew it.
This statement right here, Jeff, you're gonna understand why. And when you find out why, come back and holler at Piano Man. Come back and holler at it. We'll sit down and talk about it. I'm just telling you. Telling you now. I'm just telling you. You're gonna understand better by and by. You might not. Anyway, let me go to some more questions in the chat because I'm about to get upset. I'm about to, and I promised myself
See,
I was
and
not
Bishop
going to.
was trying to help. That's all. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, we try to help, but trying to be honest too.
Oh yeah, way honest.
Now here's one. Here's from Double A. Piano Man, I would like to know, when are some Bama fans going to let Coach Saban go? I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's an excellent question for right now.
And I'm going to address something right quick. Also, I want to know, when are those same fans going to stop bashing Milrow? I'm going to address both of those. First of all, I'm going to go back a ways, and Double A, you already know as well. We some of us old schoolers, they did the same thing with Bear Bryant. They did the same thing. And the crazy thing about it is that Coach Saban and Coach Bryant both retired under two different situations. Coach Saban retired, I'm of the firm persuasion, because of dealing with all of the newness and all of the present day rhetoric that we have in college football now, until he didn't want to just per se deal with it anymore. Coach Bryant retired because of his health. And for those of us that can remember that far back, a few months after Coach Bryant retired, Coach Bryant died. He died. And the point is that when they bought in Ray Perkins, first thing folks hollered about was he's got to do this like the Bear. He's for the Bear. He's this, he's that, he's the third. And Ray Perkins, to a certain degree, Bishop, didn't pan out. He didn't pan out, Twister. He didn't pan out. Fast forward now to Coach Saban. Bama was on the downturn. Bama was in some shambles. Bama was this. And so the tradition, and this is where I'm going to answer the question. The tradition of Alabama was in question. Coach Saban is the one who came in and took the tradition of Alabama and made Alabama the standard. He made them the standard. Right. History proves that.
Right.
That Coach Bryant made Alabama a tradition. When you thought of Alabama back then, they were the tradition. And I'm going to pull this up, and I see the producer. Good morning, Dwight. Roll Tide to you. Didn't mean no disrespect, bro. Always good to see my producer. I'm going to send something to Dwight about the original Blue Bloods of college football. The original Blue Bloods of college football. And you're going to be amazed at who's not in the cut. Y'all going to be amazed at who's not there. Because when college football was the way that it was. So Coach Bryant set a particular tradition. Now, what ended up happening is when Coach Bryant passed, I'm going all the way around the door to answer Double A's question. When Coach Bryant passed, Alabama took sort of a back seat. Was the tradition there? Yes, it was still there. But Alabama was not as relevant as they were by the time Saban comes along. Saban comes along and resurrects the tradition. And then Alabama, after a while, becomes the blueprint, the standard, and everything for 17 years. Now, did Alabama win 17 championships? No, they didn't win it every year. Bama didn't even win the SEC every year. But Bama was always relevant every year under Saban. Every year, except for that first year. Everything after that, Bama, Bama, Bama. when Coach Saban decides to retire, next person comes in, Bishop, and they automatically, in the words of Bishop,
All right.
forged by fire,
Ooh.
forged by
Right.
tradition,
Mm-hmm.
forged by expectations, which are very, very high, year in and year out, forged by that. And that's where Kalen DeBoer comes in. But what people have to also remember that Kalen DeBoer and Nick Saban, Bear Bryant, Gene Starlin, Bill Curry, Ray Perkins, they're all different individuals who don't see the game the same. They know that they have to win, but they're all taking a different path to get there. What the Saban disciples have got to do is respect the fact that Kalen DeBoer is his own man, and he's going to run things. He's going to run things the way that he sees them. You can't expect a Nick Saban to come out of Kalen DeBoer. That's not him. But I guarantee you, he is a good coach. I'm going to ask the same question that I asked yesterday. If Kalen DeBoer is so horrible, why did Michigan want him and Penn State want him? Why? Why?
Yeah.
Why did they want him?
Good question. Yes. Great question.
If he's so horrible, why did two other blue bloods want him?
Right.
Why?
And let me, you ever heard of the term family great expectations?
Yeah.
That's where we're at in this dispensation. Could we just had the passing of the guard? And let's just be honor that it is the passing of the guard because Nicholas Saban has moved on. And now what the standard was is now the board trying to understand there's no way that he's going to just start off right there and keep that same standard. He has to build up. But in that process is we got to give him grace to do so, but also keep him accountable to a certain standard of how we go about playing the game. It's okay not to meet the standard of being, in the natty run, but you got to get to where we have a strong foundation. So if we get into the playoffs, we show ourselves approved to be in there and not allowing somebody to rush the ball 51 times and not account for it or show that we can only score 3 points. That standard doesn't compute whether it's Saban or DeBoer or Ray Perkins or anybody. That type of output is showing me that you have a disregard for being able to compete. That don't mean you win it, but to compete and to make adjustments that you are paid quite a bit to be able to handle and to do. But understand, everybody has their fire test, and sometimes you fall into that quicksand, and it's a moment for you to grow. Okay, great. You fell into one of those moments where you got a choice, and I'm so glad that that question previous is now. What can you do to make sure to reassure us that we have made the right steps to move forward? That's going to be an ongoing question. And that one that hopefully some of the pieces that were added will help to solidify it. But it's an ongoing question that's going to be until that first game is played and you got documentation that beat conversation.
And I mean, so to answer that, Double A, as far as the Saban part goes, some of it is never going to stop.
Yeah.
It won't matter what. It
Yeah.
won't even matter what the board does. Some people, I'm gonna put it. I was listening to a show, and there's one particular guy. Twister, check this out. You know who he wants as coach?
Who?
John Gruden.
Hmm?
John Gruden.
Oh man.
John Gruden. And the reason he wants Gruden is because he said it reminds him of Saban. I said, what you want Gruden for? Consider Gruden's history. That's all I said. I left it at that. As far as when are people going to stop bashing Milroe? When some of them learn ball and stop being racist. That's I'm gonna put that out there just like that.
Okay, we telling the truth. Okay, I ain't mad at you.
When they start knowing football and stop being racist, whichever one comes first, that's when that'll stop.
Hey, Piano Man, allow me to say this. Everybody's talking about the answer Double A's question. In my opinion, they afraid, like what happened to Bear Bryant when he retired and he passed away. Rest in peace to the Bear. Gene Stallings did bring us up back in 1992, and his little run was great. Did he win another natty? But now he's still winning games. Till I think he retired because I think his age and his health as well, I presume. But they afraid when Nick Saban retired, are we gonna be in another slump like we were, when after Gene Stallings gave us a natty back in 92. That was 17 years since we sniffed the natty. We were just there, just the tradition, like you said. They are afraid. Now, since Saban is gone, they might thinking that it's going to be another Bear Bryant thing. Are we going to have another once-in-a-lifetime coach like we have? Because Nick Saban, in my opinion, surpassed the Bear. My opinion. This is something that we ain't going to never see ever again. The dominance, the legacy that Nick Saban left for Bama. Something that we had never seen. We seen some great legacies like Miami, Michigan. Who else? USC, the Reggie Bush era. We seen Tim Tebow era, but not as long as Alabama been dominated. Yes, we didn't win every natty, but we was right there in their face every single year after 2008. Alabama's all in their face. And Alabama became the final boss that all these teams wanted to beat to even be something. They are afraid because of Nick Saban retiring. They ain't going to have that glory, that dominance that we had when Saban was on that sideline. And they so used to that dominance that we had, they thinking that Coach DeBoer going to do the same. And like I said before, Coach DeBoer did a good thing last year with that bad old line. We still won 11 games and we lost 4. Was it the losses that we had? It was okay. We used to blowing out teams, but we still won games and we went to the championship and lost, but we went to the playoffs. I think Caleb DeBoer, I still believe that he got wherever, like the coaches on the staff will go to his mindset and his vision. I think we'll be straight. I'm not saying give it time. Now that all the Saban guys are basically gone, now he got his own players, his own coaching staff, all that he wants to develop those players the way in his image. I think Alabama's pride is still there. The legacy is still there. The fear is basically still there. It just a reproduction, reproducing. We reproducing and we just change it. It's a transformation from Saban to DeBoer. We are basically in a way still in the Saban era mindset that we got to get used to. Now Caleb DeBoer is on his 3rd year. maybe he might put his stamp of approval and show the world that I'm here to stay. We will find out this coming up season. And that's my opinion.
Bishop.
Well put. I like that twist. Here's what I would say is that you guys already know the facts and the truth is that it's always hard to follow in the foot of someone who has set such a high standard bar as Nicholas Saban.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, you can also show yourself approved to be headed in the right direction by how you attribute and that you make the necessary changes to be on that trajectory. So two things can be true at the same time. And I believed in this last season was Coach DeBoer and his entire staff's fire test season to find out what impurities came up to the top, which was plain to see, and it was purely documented. No reason to go back over that. We understand that. Now, with that, there's this opportunity that, man, if that question doesn't hit so hard, is that what DeBoer and the offensive coaching staff, have they made enough to assure us that that they understand that they got the notion of what transpired and why we weren't able to complete our mission to win the national title this past season? That's going to be a prevailing question. And Twister, I'm so glad you said it. Here is the thing. DeBoer, you're on the clock and you're in your third season where it's all of your recruits. It's on you and your staff to now communicate, because understand, if you allow them to have carte blanche, then you got to be willing when it doesn't meet the standard or meet a standard of being able to be complimentary, you got to be able to answer the call.
Got to be. And like I said, and people also have to realize he's going to do things his way. He's not going to be a Nick Saban clone. And and as time goes on, he'll learn. There'll be some things he learned. I'm not going to use the term hit or miss, but it's a learn as you go. He's got to learn. There are some things he's got to learn. And you're stepping into the shoes, or if you're following in the footsteps, or however you want to put that, of whom we calling now the greatest of all time. And in the words of Bishop, of what he says there on his caption, you've got to forge your own path. You've got to forge it yourself. Nick Saban can't do it for you. Bear Bryant can't do it for you. Gene Stallings can't do it for you, i.e. all of those guys won championships. You still have yet to win one. And so but you're going to have to win, you're going to have to find your niche and win that yourself and put the team together. Now, that don't just mean with the players, but it means with the coaches as well. Because Coach Saban, Coach Bryant, those guys answered to him. Those guys under them answered to Coach Saban. They answered to Coach Bryant. They answered to Coach Stallings. And you got to be able to take the heat. Now, as far as Milroe goes, like what I said, when you start knowing ball and stop being racist, whichever one comes first, then the Milroe bashing will stop. Here's the catch with Milroe. Was Milroe the most prolific short game passer? No, but he could do it. He just wasn't consistent with it. That's all. But between he, Ty, Bryce, even Mac Jones, none of them could throw a deep ball like Milroe. Number two, none of them had the athletic prowess that Milroe had, which leads me to this, Bishop and Twister. There were some games that Milroe won, that at the hands of Milroe, I think up under anybody else under center, with the same O-line, Bama probably would have lost those games. I'm just being honest with you. Some of those defenses could not match his athleticism. And that's the bottom line. So the Milroe bashing will stop when some people, like I said, learn ball and stop being racist. That's when that'll stop. But AA, that's not going to stop anytime soon, because some people are not going to ever learn ball and they're never going to stop being racist. Because here's the other catch. And I'm going to end that part with this. A lot of folks, and I was, let's put it this way. Let me say it like this. And I'm not being diplomatic about it or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to keep it like Bishop and Twister said. I'm keeping it a buck with you. Keep it 100. Ty was Ty Simpson, but Ty had the same opportunities, in my opinion, to beat out Jalen Milroe 2 years and didn't do it. The question is why? Now, the big stink was Bishop and Twister. Well, he kept the locker room together. That was post Saban. But still, he didn't beat out Jalen Milroe when Saban was there. Why? Is there a reason why? We all know why. Number two, after Saban left, Ty Simpson Jalen Milroe could have bailed ship, could have jumped ship. He could have bailed out Bishop. He could have bailed out Twister.
Facts.
But he did not. He didn't bail out. Now, I'm going to go back and see if I can find this clip. And if I find the clip, I get it to Dwight, and he'll play it and everything. But I'm telling you now, Jalen Milroe made a statement and said, for those of you that's complaining about, we heard everything that was said in Coach DeBoer's first year, but Jalen Milroe went on to say there were some things behind the scene, sort of paraphrasing, y'all don't know about. Y'all don't know about. See, so until you are an insider, and until you hear certain people say certain things, then all you can do is speculate. And that's what we have, a bunch of speculators. Folks speculating, really not knowing, hearing stuff that's a lot of that stuff is not true. And so when they start knowing ball, and some stop being racist, then the Milroe bashing will stop. When they realize that Coach Saban is not coming back through that door anymore, he's not going to be coming out that tunnel to any song of Alabama's representing the Crimson Tide. When they finally realize and accept Bishop, Twister, and stop being in denial that Coach Saban is not coming back. When all of these things start, Bishop and Twister, then I believe Coach DeBoer, I'm not going to say he'll be settled, but I think you'll see a more settling him. He'll be more able to settle into his role as head coach. But trust me when I tell you, he hears everything people say. He reads all the comments. Those guys read. They hear it. And so again, I ask, if he's such, and this is for all the folks who want DeBoer gone, if he's such a horrible coach, I'm going to throw a third element into that. Number one, why did Michigan want him? Number two, why did Penn State want him? But if he's so horrible, then why did Alabama get him in the first place? And I ended with that. Go on.
Yes, indeed.
I ended with that. Here we go. Here's another I want to know. We got a few more minutes. Kendrick, what's up, man? Kendrick said, I want to know if we will have elite production at wide receiver. We should. But with the pass heavy offense, maybe. The wide receivers have to be able to beat man coverage and create separation. All that is true. But I want to address the second part of your question where you said with a pass heavy offense. I think that's going to change. I think you're going to have more this year, a balanced offense, like what Twister said, what Bishop's saying, what Coach Carl said, what Governor said. I said it. Some of y'all in the chat have said it. You must be able to run the football. You got to be able to run it. Bishop, let me go back to, if y'all will allow me, Bishop and Twister, let me take a step back for just a second. Let me step back into the last question.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to bring up Ty Simpson because when you talk about a pass-heavy offense, it's something I forgot to say about that. Ty Simpson's greatest asset was his ability to read mid-range reads, to do mid-range reads. That was his greatest asset. Defenses caught on to that. They took his strong point away from him. When they took it away from him to force him to do one of two things. Number one, either go deep. Number two, either run the football. When they took his mid game away from him, and those other two things he wouldn't go for, it stymied the whole offense. All of that just wasn't on time. Some of that was on, is a lot of blame to go around. But the point that I'm making, when you talk about with a pass-heavy offense, and then you're saying the wide receivers have to be able to beat man coverage and create separation, a lot of that's going to depend on how quarterbacks react to pressure that's being brought to them. Because all of that stuff, and you know, is all about timing. But the point that I'm making is, Kendrick, if we don't have a balanced offense and it's all pass heavy, 8-9 games will be our lot. We won 11 games, sir. And Twister said it a couple of minutes ago. We won 11 games. Bama won 11 games with virtually no running game. That can't be. Not this year. That can't be. You got to have some running. You got to have a running attack. It's got to be balanced in order for Alabama to go to the next level. So the elite production at wide receiver, you're going to have it. Let me say where's my book. You're going to have Ryan Williams, of course. You're going to have Ryan Williams. You're going to have let me go back. You're going to have Ryan Williams. You're going to have Rico Scott. You're going to have
Sadarian Moore.
Sadarian Morgan. You're going to have Lottie Brooks. You're going to have
that guy from North Carolina State.
Yeah. Listen. Don't forget you're gonna have Derek Meadows. You're gonna have quite a few guys. Derek Meadows is actually one of those receivers who can play either wide out or tight. He can do either or 6'6", for God's sake. You're gonna have a balance. You're gonna have an elite passing attack. Wide receiver core, Kendrick. Bama will have that. Trust me on that part. You will have that. The question is going to be, will you have an elite O-line to accompany that elite wide receiver core? That's my question. Along with your question, and Kendrick, I want you to do the same thing I need Stephen Hicks to do. I need you to write your question down, this particular question, and Stephen, Kendrick, we need to present that. That's one of these every week questions too, because that's going to be a give and take thing right there, in my opinion, Kendrick. We have the elite receivers, yeah, but will we have an elite O-line to let these receivers eat, cook, or do whatever it is they got to do? Go ahead, Bishop.
Yeah, on that note, do me a favor. With that, we're going to keep track to see the young man that wears number 2, Mr. Ryan Williams. Let's just see, now that he has matured and got engaged, see if the drops was something mental or he really addressed it. And he
I
is
see where you
mature
going
enough.
with this.
He's mature enough to now be accountable, to know that, hey, if you want to be in the NFL, you got to become a professional now. And you got to do things in such a manner that you got to be okay when you're not doing something, to be able to be critiqued, so that we can all be on the same page and we get the Ryan Williams that we saw in the freshman season.
Yeah, you're going to have quite a few. Go ahead, Twister.
Yeah, we probably got to talk about that on another show. That gonna
Yeah.
be probably the whole conversation about that. But I'm glad Bishop beat me to it. But I was gonna wait till we have another show about that, about why his actions of last year kind of dwindled because of that situation.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna leave it alone, like my old pastor used to say. Rest in peace to him. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Go ahead, Bishop.
I think Ryan is going to be okay. But as a collective, the wideouts, though, Kendrick, I understand your question, and I totally agree with the question. But I also have to add an addendum to the question again: is that will we have an elite O-line that will allow these elite receivers to allow an elite quarterback to make some elite plays? See how I fixed that up?
Yeah. I saw how you, and I will say this: there's truly a chance to actually grow into it, because you have at least answered the tough questions in their opinion, and that now we can follow along and let's see if they did. Because if they didn't, and that certain someone that was made to be the scapegoat goes over to the trees and fix their O-line, then we got a bigger problem. But understand, right now we're in the off season, so let's make sure that we hold them accountable, since they made the decision that it was the old offensive line coach. Great. If that's the case, then let's see this new O-line. Let's give that O-line coach an opportunity to get his repertoire working, and let's see in the A-Day. Let's see if it gets better, or you see signs of where they're going in the right direction.
I'm glad you brought that up, Bishop. And Kendrick, thank you for saying what you're saying. But Kendrick, and Stephen Hicks, y'all two for right now, I want those two questions. I need y'all to write the questions down as you ask your questions, Kendrick, your questions, Stephen, as you asked it today. And let's see, as Bishop said, let's monitor actually starting here in the next few weeks, next couple of weeks, I think to be exact, when spring drills start, let's monitor what's being said about the O-line and the wideouts. Let's monitor what's being said about the quarterback. That's the only way a question like this can be answered, is what's happening, as Bishop says, in practice. What's happening during the fire test? See, Bishop, I'll be listening to you, bro. What's happening during the fire test? Which also leads me to this right here, Bishop. Do we as a fan recognize a fire test when we see one?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Well, yes. Let me answer it like this. We do, but it's not easy. Because in that fire test, they got thing that's called a poopy diaper, where you see what needs to be fixed, but you know that how do I go about fixing it? And I'm not in charge.
Oh, see, you just threw an extra canister of crab oil in that, Bishop, because there was a particular coach which shall remain nameless, statement, and said, I've done everything I know to do to fix the offense. Well, Bishop, I used to work with special needs students. And I had the special needs guy. I'm not going to call his name because I can't, but he's a grown man. But one day he asked somebody a question and they told him that they didn't know, right? This special needs guy said to them, he said, well, I don't know. And if you don't know, then who knows? Bishop, it stopped me in my tracks when I heard him ask that question. This man had the mental capacity of maybe a 12-year-old. But when the guy asked, he said, I don't know what to tell you. He said, well, if you don't know, I don't know. That this came from a special needs guy, then who knows? So in the words of my special needs student, my former student, to this particular coach, if you don't know what else to do, I'm not coaching. Well, who knows?
I know what to do, but am I in a position to help?
But you said you were. But
yeah. See,
Kendrick, you see what you done started, bro.
Look, hold on, Kendrick. No, you my fam. You got my back. Check this out. A real fire test shows the character of the individual, because what it is putting pressure on that oh so beautiful heart, which is the soul, to allow the soul wounds to come up to the surface. So now they get scraped off, and now you are excellent in your motive. But in that process, it's not easy to go through, because that means your standard or your system wasn't fully ready. And oftentimes we want to feel in control or think we have the control, when actuality, it comes to realize there's something greater that's doing a work on the inside of us. And in that moment, you become a child and you realize, man, I thought my system was in point, but okay, great. I want to fix it, but how do I fix it? Oh, that's right. If it's in a certain arena, then it's not in my ability to fix it. Then I'll be getting in the way. Okay. Then that's a fire test. Because the truth of what sets you free.
That's what Jesus said now. I'm not saying, but so Kendrick, I'm going to need you to keep your question every week, sir. And on every We Want to Know Wednesday, Stephen, your question as well. I need you to keep your question and we need on every Wednesday here, especially within the next 2 weeks. And I'll let you know when to present it again, and then we can start evaluating. And all during the spring drills, Bishop and Twister, we can take those 2 questions of the O-line and the
Right.
wide receivers, and we can evaluate, because we're gonna have to just go by what we hear.
Okay. Can I ask a question? When does your spring practices start up?
I want to say, I don't think it's next week. I think it's the week after next. I think that's when it is, but I will let you know tomorrow.
Right. Okay. Let me know, because what I was going to say to the family members that you hold your questions, let's give them like a week of spring practice, and then let's tackle that to see if we got any feedback or see any answer to our questions that you have. And that way we can honestly give them the truest opportunity to show improve.
And then on the second part of that, even to others that's in the chat, others that are in the chat, formulate questions like this too, of things you wanting to know from a football perspective. You know, like Kendrick talked about the wideouts. Stephen talked about the O-line. Whatever question you may have, and not just from an offensive perspective, because I'm telling you something else. We better bring up this, and I'm not telling you what to write about, but Bishop, Twister, I'm gonna tell you something else. That is a real pain. Special teams. Special teams.
Yes.
You better put a pin in that
Kicker
one.
and a punter. Yes, indeed.
Special teams.
Yes, Lord.
Nobody wants to talk about special teams. We don't want to talk about punters. We don't want to talk about kickers. Watch this, Bishop, Twister. We don't want to talk about kickoff return and kickoff. When was the last time we had a punt returner run for some significant yardage? Special teams.
I remember a former guy that plays for Ohio State. That was the last one that did that. Caleb Downs. The last one.
Oh.
That was about 2 or 3 years ago.
See what I'm saying? So you got to look at the totality of this. Special teams.
Mr. Piano Man, sir. Hey, family, somebody get my back. I want to know, when coaches are watching film, do they see that there's a game one problem throughout the season? And what is their answer to make sure it's getting corrected? I just want to know.
Bishop, I need you to write that question down, and we need to present that. We need to present that weekly, and I want to know Wednesday.
Well, Miss Lady
Latoya, last year, doggone it, I said it. Bishop, you heard me say it. What in the world are we doing in week 12 with a week 1 problem? See, Twister, I'm sorry, because you told me not to get upset. I'm sorry, Twister. I'm sorry, Twister. Please forgive me. But Piano Man, I get upset when I had these flashbacks, because I kept saying in week 8, we still suffering with a week 1 problem.
Miss Lady Latoya, can you get my back and write that down? And that'll be one from you. I want the ladies to be represented.
I need to see him too. But yes. Let me see. I'm just being honest with you.
Hey, y'all. I'm being messy. Look, I'm being messy like a bug.
No, that's not being messy, because I'm calling for Stephen Hicks, William. What's up, William Bryant? Roll Tide to you. You and Chikora. And y'all forgive me. my screen was on the comments that I start, and so I
Oh no,
got a
you
lot
good.
going on, but I wasn't ignoring anybody, but they were on that. But let me tell you something. I'm calling for excellence, Bishop and Twister. We got the okay. Now let's go back to this O-line that Stephen Hicks was talking about. Now you've got brand new starters.
Yeah,
Starters, Bishop and Twister.
yeah, I agree.
No, from tackle to tackle, Twister. Nobody that's coming up for this year.
DeBoer
started for
starters.
Alabama last year. Nobody.
Yeah, DeBoer starters. DeBoer starters.
Now you got bona
Mhm.
fide Kalen DeBoer starters. Now this is where the rubber's going to meet the road. Now I'm going to still give him grace, Bishop. I'm going to give him time, yes. But this lackadaisical, laissez-faire thing we got going, no, sir. And in the words of Stephen Hicks, that doggone rotating every other play, that mess needs to stop. Somewhere along the line, we must gel, Bishop.
Yeah, that right there, the rotating on the O-line, I never seen that before. I see rotating running backs, I see rotating receivers, but never an O-line. That was weird to me. I never seen that. And I've been watching football a long time too as well. And I never seen rotating O-line. It's like they had basically like trust issues. They had trust issues like who to block, but the main person that you should have put on the line, you didn't do it. So why you keep rotating O linemen? But the problem is that the answer in front of your face, you didn't do it. And I'm talking about big number 77, Jane Roberts.
Uh-oh.
I'm just saying, you rotating all these linemen, but you're missing one answer that you go over your head because he's too aggressive. My opinion.
Well, brothers, we getting ready to get up out of here because I got to get ready to head to the doctor, all that kind of stuff. And plus, Bishop and Twister, I also gonna stop by the store and I'm going to I'm throwing some meat on the grill to see. You know, I'm getting tailgating in my blood now. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh boy.
but I'm getting tailgating in my thing, you know. Getting ready for, but anyway, but y'all, this was great. We want to know Wednesday. And I didn't get to all of them. I just got to some pertinent ones, but everybody keep your questions.
Yeah, please.
But those two from Kendrick and from Stephen, those Kendrick and Stephen will be answered over time. So I'm gonna need y'all to write those questions down, sir. I'm being honest with you. I'm gonna need y'all to write them down. Bishop told Latoya to write his down. If there are questions like that you have, bring them to the screen. We look at them, we talk about them, and if we know that that's a good one that's going to be answered as time progresses, we're going to talk about it, and it adds to more of our content that we talk about on We Want to Know Wednesday. And because as Bishop said earlier, We Want to Know Wednesday is y'all's time.
Yeah, absolutely. And
this is y'all's time.
Yeah, and I want to let you guys know, believe it or not, this is one of the fewest content channels that allows to realize who the true superstar are is you guys in the chat. You're the true superstars. You allow us to come every morning when we have an opportunity to be before you and share our thoughts and our feelings and our expertise. And we want to make sure you're well represented and you get to also get your say-so in. So really hold true. If you got something that you want to bring up, you know the day to do it. This is your day.
Wednesday is the chat day. Wednesday belongs to the chat. Wednesday is your day. And I'm gonna say this, chat. I love y'all. Y'all know I do. And when I'm just gonna tell you that I told Bishop this is something that the Lord himself put on my heart to have we want to know Wednesday. And the way I got that from was from the Constitution. We the people. that and the Declaration of Independence. I'm a big history buff, y'all. And look, I'm a big history buff, and I majored in criminal justice, but play the piano. Go figure. I'm all jacked up, man. But what's up, Martavis? Yeah, yes. Okay, hold up. Let me see something. Our squad is very young coming into the season. Yes, they are. But you know what, Martavis? But we also gonna have some veterans because transfer portal, the purpose of your transfer portal, is almost like the equivalent of free agency, if you will, in a kind of sort of way from a pro perspective. So, but I think Martavis, on the real deal though, brother, I think we're gonna be surprisingly good. I think Bama's gonna be surprisingly good, and everything. But before we get out of here, I'm 2 minutes over, but Twister, I'm gonna start with you because you on the road, brother. And Bishop and Twister, I'm gonna call y'all as soon as we get off. I'm gonna call y'all shortly because there's something I need to share with the both of you all. I'm gonna share it this morning. But Martavis, but Twister, parting words, sir.
Man, all I can say is thank y'all for coming. If I ain't speak to nobody in the chat, roll tide and salute to y'all. I hope y'all having a lovely morning. And y'all continue to pray for us, me, Icebox, or whoever be on the road doing our job like we do every day. Y'all continue to pray for us in Jesus' name, and y'all just be safe out there, man. And thank y'all for allowing me to talk and say what I gotta say in my opinion and everything. Piano man, continue to hold it down. I'll be right beside you. Bishop, it's always been an honor to talk with you, brother. It always have. And everybody in the chat, y'all be safe, man. And I've been working right now, but I had time to talk this time because I'm both. It's a little laid back job today, a little laid back day today. But it's a blessing. Like I said, for anybody who's still working, man, it's a blessing to be working and take care of your responsibilities. And y'all be safe and Godspeed, and y'all, stay out of trouble, and man, just be safe out there. God bless you guys and roll tide, y'all.
Bless you and roll tide, Twister. Bishop, parting words.
Parting words is don't forget that when he blew into that dirt, he was thinking of all of us. And none of us are the same. So we don't think alike. So let's give each other grace enough to walk in their own thing and to also go through their own fire test so that they can come to their real selves. With that, that means it takes the onus of us being able to realize we're just nothing but a big old pot of gumbo. Because we all come and we share our ideals, and I don't always agree with Piano Man or Twister, and they don't always agree with me. But the bottom line is, if you always stay with the truth, you'll never, ever be in qualms. And with that, I value each and every person that keeps coming and sharing with us and being a part of our family. You are truly honored, and we appreciate each and every one of you. And we don't take it for granted having this opportunity to break bread with you and to share a good old pot of gumbo with you. You're truly blessed.
Yeah. There we go. I was trying to answer William, and every time I answered them, they were saying it sounds like a spam message. I was saying, like, what are we talking about here? But anyway, my parting words are this morning, man. It is so great. I'm about like Bishop said earlier this morning. I look forward to We Want to Know Wednesdays because it lets me know. It gives me a chance to hear what's on your mind concerning Alabama Crimson Tide football and everything, and no questions go ignored. It might not get answered today and everything, but that's why I try to star them and everything because they are important. And today we had some good ones and everything. But thank you for your we want to know, and we want to make Wednesdays our bigger days. Now, and I want to know what you want to know. That's how that goes. I want to know what you want to know. And so we can all sit down and discuss it and just have fun with it and everything. So with that being said, that's our show for today. Had a good time. Had a great show. Always thankful for Bishop and Twister and Governor who got called away there for just a second. And Coach Carl couldn't make it today, but the gumbo chefs are always got the aprons and got the chef hats on, and the gumbo always stays ready. Thankful for each one of you in the chat that comes every day. You all, as Bishop said, you all are the MVPs of the long run. It's not Piano Man, it's not Bishop, it's not Twister, it's not Governor, or it's not Coach Carl. It's y'all, and we appreciate you, and I appreciate the gumbo chefs. So with that being said, stay focused, drive, and go forward in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, you can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. I promise you can. You just got to want to be able to do it. And whichever way God says go, hey, go with what the Lord says do. You always win. And like I said, you'll win if you stay in the race. So with that being said, everybody, just remember, this kitchen is big enough for everybody to cook in. No difference in, no sense in being jealous of anybody. Hey, cook your gumbo. In the words of Bishop, spit your fire, spice it up, and conduct your own fire test. There you'll see somebody's gonna like what you're doing. So at the end of the day, everybody can get something to eat, and that's what it's all about. Always remember, Piano Man don't know everything, Bishop and Twister. I just know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, I want everybody to have a great day. Go and be great today. Listen, go be great because you are great. And remember that the God that lives in you, he's greater than your problems. So with that being said, the kitchen is closed. The gumbo chefs have left the building. Piano Man and Elvis are about to do likewise. Shalom, shalom to each of you. Have a great day. Go be great. William Bryant, I'll let you know when dinner's ready, bro. Bishop Twister, I'll let you know when dinner's ready.
True that.
I don't know if I'm going to do gumbo today, but I think I'm going to put a little something on the grill because I think that sun going to be out a little bit. And I think we're going to do a little chicken, little ribs or something on the grill. And caring is sharing. And so we will let you know. So to everybody, for the 401k crew,
shalom, shalom,
shalom, shalom. To the 401k crew, to the No Mercy crew, to the drinking crew, to the Don't Give a Piss crew, to the crew, to all the crews that's within the crew that I don't know about.
JW, Brinsky, we all appreciate you.
Man, we appreciate all the crews, man. Especially B Sharp, Coach Al, Coach Sean. Look, I always got to do this with Coach Sean. I can't do it like he does it. Salute to the one and only.
Yeah,
Coach
big
Sean.
salute.
Part of the reason I'm here today, Coach Sean. Salute to you, Coach Carl. To all of y'all, man. Tez, SEC season. I got to go back to doing that ice box to all the truck drivers.
Yeah, ice box.
Moon Rock, everybody. All y'all.
Coach Hayes, salute.
And God, I'm like the late Tupac Shakur. I ain't mad at you. I ain't got nothing but
Real flaw.
Go
holding it down.
Hold it down and go do your thing. So with that being said, Piano Man is out. Me and Elvis, wait up, man. I'm coming. And we gone. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a great day and roll tide. Shalom unto you.